Breaking news. Exposed news outlet with Andrea. Today's top story, Hollywood legendary director Rob Reiner and his wife Michele Singer Reiner have been tragically killed, and their son, Nick Reiner, has now been arrested in connection with their deaths. Stay with us for the latest. Hey everyone, it's Drea with Exposed News Outlet. Thank you for joining me today. Hit like right now and subscribe for continuous updates if you haven't already. Thank you. We've got the breaking developments on this tragic Hollywood story. What happened? Rob Reiner, age 78, and his wife Michele Singer Reiner, age 68, were found slain inside their Brentwood beautiful home on December 14th after a 911 medical call. Initially, police treated this as an apparent homicide investigation.
Hollywood legend Rob Reiner and his wife Michele stabbed to death in their own home, and now the couple's son is in custody suspected of murder. 32-year-old Nick Reiner is being held without bail right now. Law enforcement sources telling ABC News Reiner was actually not home when his parents were found stabbed to death. Investigators believe he left at some point after the stabbings. Sources also say the LAPD was able to easily and quickly find him near the University of Southern California, where he was arrested for murder. Sources also saying tonight Rob and his son Nick apparently got into an argument Saturday night at a holiday party that they both attended. At that party, Nick was allegedly seen acting strangely.
Today, Los Angeles police have arrested their son, age 32-year-old Nick Reiner, on suspicion of murdering his parents. He is currently in custody and being held with no bail as prosecutors move forward. Who is Nick Reiner? Nick Reiner has publicly battled drug addiction and periods of homelessness for years, a struggle he openly discussed in interviews and a film he co-wrote. In 2015, he co-wrote the semi-autobiographical movie Being Charlie, directed by his father, which explored themes of addiction and recovery.
You don't seem very fiery to me. You seem like you might just...
I get crazy.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
You don't want to set me off.
Yeah. Were you ever worried that that Nick could shine poorly on your career or something like that?
No. That never crossed my mind. I mean, you know, he's my son. I love him. It doesn't matter. He's more important than anything that could happen to me.
Charlie, why don't you tell us what you want to thank God for? 6 months of sobriety? Nothing you want to say?
Do I smell like weed? No. I think I smell like weed.
Is most of the movie parallel to your life, or almost all of it?
No, we took from our lives, but it's a fiction. I mean, Nick can tell you because he went through all of this, and I think you took from a lot of different people, didn't you?
Yeah, from my own experiences and from also seeing other people going through it, and also the varying establishments that I was in, you really get a sense for that whole world. So it's not like copy and pasted, but it's definitely derivative of, reality. Sort of like a 4-year process. Like first we started out with this like slapsticky half-hour comedy pilot that was horrendous. Bad jokes and everything, and he looked at it and was like, eh. And then
I just felt he could go deeper. He could go deeper with it. I mean, it was funny, but I felt the subject matter, should allow him to go deeper with it.
Yeah, well, that wasn't said at the time. It was sort of just like, this is trash. But anyways, we went along, and 4 years went by, and then I met up with Matt for a bagel in New York City, and we were like, what about that old script that we were, maybe there was some good stuff in there. We went in and we looked at one page and we were like, this is terrible. And then, I just sort of wrote a new pilot, then got around to him saying, would you like to make a movie out of this? And we were like, we don't know how to do that. And then we just tried to do it.
Was it cathartic in a way to revisit the journey?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I mean, we went through a lot. I mean, we didn't do it to be cathartic, but it turned out that that's what happened. I mean, it forced me to understand a lot more of what Nick was going through, and I think it forced him to see what I was going through, and that brought us closer together. And during the process of working on the film, it took about a year just working on the script. The first draft they wrote was like 190 pages. They had thrown everything in that they had gone through.
Manifesto.
Yeah, and as we shaped it and changed it, the whole process brought us closer together because we started understanding each other a little bit better.
I'm not going to listen to you tell me what a drug addict I am.
Tough, dear.
Careful, I'm one of your constituents now. You wouldn't want to lose the governor's race by 1 vote.
You can either head back to treatment or live on the streets. It's your choice.
I can't tell exactly what got me into them besides the fact that I thought they were really cool and I just wanted to do them. But I think I heard this question a lot, and I think the only answer I can give for wanting to tell a story like this is that it's even more powerful to tell it about someone who is going through this and they're given everything and they're in an opulent situation and they're still deciding to go to the drugs. And that's more powerful than some, in our opinion, that's the only story that we know. We don't know any other story besides that.
And I think, it cuts across socioeconomic boundaries. I mean, if you look what's going on now with the heroin epidemic around the country, it's invading white middle class suburban neighborhoods. So it doesn't really it crosses all economic boundaries, and difficulties that you have are not relegated to only people who are unprivileged.
Sources say Nick was not home when his parents were found. He was later located near the University of Southern California campus and arrested that same night. Last contact and argument before the incident. Sources say the night before the incident, Nick and Rob Reiner were seen arguing at a holiday party, raising questions about family tension prior to the tragedy. There had been concern among some observers that someone close to the family might have been involved, and now authorities are moving forward with charges after formal arrest. Context and legacy. Rob Reiner was a legend in Hollywood. From This Is Spinal Tap.
Very delicate.
It's a bit of a departure from the kind of thing you normally play. What do you call this?
Well, this piece is called Lick My Love Pump.
This is the loudest, rock and roll, most explosive band in heavy metal history. This is Spinal Tap.
There's such a fine line between stupid and clever.
The funniest movie ever made about rock and roll.
He choked on vomit. Well, they can't prove whose vomit it was.
The monumental classic.
There was a Stonehenge monument on the stage that was in danger of being crushed by a dwarf.
The makeup of your audience seems to be young boys.
Oh, it's a sexual thing, really.
We've got, armadillos in our trousers. I mean, it's really quite frightening.
No, don't have
I was just pointing at it.
Well, don't point. I'm sure I'd feel much worse if I weren't under such heavy sedation.
The cult phenomenon.
The numbers all go to 11.
Does that mean it's louder? Is it any louder?
Well, it's 1 louder, isn't it?
Why don't you just make 10 louder and make 10 be the top number and make that a little louder?
These go to 11.
This is Spinal Tap.
To The Princess Bride.
Grandfather's here.
Can't you tell me I'm sick? He'll pinch my cheek. I hate that.
Maybe he won't.
Hey, how was this sickie? Huh? I brought you a special present.
What is it?
It was the book my father used to read to me when I was sick, and I used to read it to your father. And today, I'm going to read it to you.
It was a time when life didn't seem so complicated.
Marriage is what brings us together today.
What?
What?
I'm killing myself once we reach the honeymoon suite.
Wouldn't that be nice?
A courtly age of gentle conversation.
I won't always come for you.
But how can you be sure?
This is true love.
Oh no. Is this a kissing book?
No. Actually, there was a lot of treachery, peril, and revenge.
Prepare to die.
Never go in against the Sicilian when death is on the line.
There were affairs of state.
I've got my country's 500th anniversary to plan, my wedding to arrange, my wife to murder, and Gilda to frame for it. I'm swamped.
And affairs of the heart.
My Wesley will always come for me.
Your Wesley is dead.
I've seen worse.
Bye-bye, boy. Have fun storming the castle.
It's more than dirty. What's the difference? We've got him.
Think it'll work?
It would take a miracle.
Goodbye.
It's a story of love, a tale of adventure. It's as real as the feelings you feel.
We're kissing again.
Someday you may not mind so much.
The Princess Bride.
When Harry Met Sally, A Few Good Men,
You want answers? I think I'm entitled. You want answers? I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
and more, shaping American film for generations. In fact, he even had started his debut on TV and as Meathead, and went on to directing many wonderful films. Michele Singer Reiner was an accomplished photographer and creative partner in the arts, doing a little acting as well, famously taking the picture of Donald Trump for the Art of the Deal.
If a home reflects its owner, then Rob Reiner's is a perfect fit. It's impressive but understated, grand but charming.
So Rob, do you have a green thumb?
Well, I don't have a green thumb, but the person who first owned this house was Henry Fonda. Henry Fonda actually planted all of these roses.
And like the house, Reiner himself stems from Hollywood royalty. The son of actor, writer, director, producer Carl Reiner, Rob, now 63, grew to follow in his father's footsteps, becoming one of Hollywood's most successful and respected filmmakers.
You know, there's very few people whose parents achieved in this business at a very high level, whose children also achieve at a high level. It's rare. I mean, you can count it on one hand.
These days, it takes too many fingers to count Rob Reiner's triumphs, from acting in television's All in the Family to directing hits like When Harry Met Sally, A Few Good Men, and Misery.
I make movies about people that live on Earth. You know, nobody gets exploded. Nobody is running around chasing anything. Basically, they're people in rooms talking. You're sticking with Dad on this.
His latest film, Flipped, which opens this month, is no different.
The first day I met Bryce Losky, I flipped. It was those eyes. Something in those dazzling eyes.
The film chronicles two sides of a first crush.
I couldn't believe it. There I was, holding hands with this strange girl. How did I get into this mess?
Well, hello. I see you've met my son.
I basically tell the same love story over and over. Essentially what it is, the girl in the story is always much more emotionally mature. The boy is always running around like an idiot trying to catch up, trying to figure out what's going on.
And some would argue in real life that's totally true.
Well, it is. I mean, that's my story. I mean, basically, you know, my wife gave me, made me a person.
He and Michele Singer have been married for 21 years and have 3 teenage children.
You're like half formed when you're a guy. You meet the right woman, and she basically helps you grow up.
Reiner says that today, just as his life has influenced his work, comedy has always influenced his life. After all, he grew up surrounded by his father's work buddies.
The great comic minds of the second half of the 20th century, Woody Allen and Mel Brooks and Neil Simon and my dad, And I was aware how funny things were, but I didn't think there was anything unusual about it. I just assumed that everybody, this is what happened in everybody's house. It wasn't until I went over to my friend Paul Schindler's house when I realized things weren't as funny over there. They were a little funnier at my house.
It didn't take long for the young Reiner to realize he wanted to be just like Dad.
When I was about 8 years old, I said, "Dad, I want to change my name." And he got all upset. He was worried that it was difficult for me, that he didn't want, maybe I was feeling the burden of having to be his son. And he said to me, "Well, what do you want to change your name to?" And I said, "Carl."
Sure enough, before even turning 20, he started making his own name in comedy. He was partnered with another young comedian, Steve Martin, as a writing team on the controversial Smothers Brothers Comedy Hour. Then, in 1971, at just 23, he was cast in the role of his life.
If your spicks and your spades want their rightful share of the American dream, let them get out there and hustle for it just like I did.
Yeah, but Archie, you're forgetting one thing. You didn't have to hustle with a black skin.
No, I didn't have to.
I remember reading the script and thinking, this is such good writing. This is so edgy and so brilliant. There's no way that this is going to fly on American television.
Now I suppose you're going to tell me that the black man has had the same opportunity in this country as you?
More. He's had more. I didn't have no million people out there marching and protesting to get me my job.
No, his uncle got it for him.
It didn't just fly. All in the Family soared, with Reiner playing Mike Stivic, foil and son-in-law of working-class bigot Archie Bunker.
I happen to be very proud of my Polish heritage.
What heritage? You come from a long line of bowling teams.
We were a country of about 200 million people. And we got, on average, 45 million people watching the show every week. There were no VCRs. There was no TiVo. You had to actually sit down and watch it when it was on television. That meant that 45 million people were having a shared experience at the same time.
I got to tell you, I can remember being 10 years old, and it was an event in our house when All in the Family came on. My father would say, "All in the Family's on," and everybody would come in and watch. You talk about that shared experience.
Right, and then there was family discussion afterwards. You don't see that so much anymore.
But another hallmark of All in the Family does remain.
Well, why don't you fix it, meathead, huh? It ain't my fault, meathead. Hold it, meathead, hold it.
Meathead. People still call you Meathead?
Yes, on almost a daily basis, somebody will call me that, and I love that because I had such a great experience with the show. I'm so proud of it, and I've often said, no matter what I do in life, I could win the Nobel Prize. The headline would read, "Meathead wins Nobel."
During his years on All in the Family, he married Penny Marshall, who'd star in her own hit sitcom, Laverne and Shirley, in 1976. Their fame was staggering.
Could you go out of the house?
No.
At all?
No. Couldn't go anywhere. I mean, it was insane. It was like really crazy.
By the end of the 70s, the marriage broke up. All in the Family went off the air, and Reiner turned to directing. His improvised mock documentary, This Is Spinal Tap, followed the fictional tour of the fictional band Spinal Tap, England's loudest band.
If you can see, the numbers all go to 11. Look, right across the board. 11, 11,
and most of
11,
the
and
amps go up to 10.
Exactly.
Yeah, they go to 11, and also they were very punctual, which is an odd kind of dichotomy, to be punctual and that loud.
But doing sitcoms and satires was very much in his father's repertoire. As he approached 40, Reiner wanted to do something that would set him apart. He got his chance with the movie Stand By Me. It follows Gordy and three friends who face adversity while looking for the body of a boy who'd gone missing.
Do you think I'm weird?
Definitely.
No, man, seriously. Am I weird?
I thought, oh God, I can make this. I know what this is. Because I basically made my own story. A lot of the feelings that Gordy was having were things that I had when I was young growing up.
Stand By Me was a critical and financial success. So Reiner decided to try his hand at another story close to his heart, a fairy tale, The Princess Bride. But first, he had to get permission from the book's author, William Goldman.
And I was so nervous. We sat down. He has this high squeaky voice and he says, "Well, I just think this is going great. I'm having a great time." And I said, "Oh my God." I was so happy. I was so happy.
I can't compete with you physically, and you're no match for my brains.
You're that smart.
Let me put it this way. Have you ever heard of Plato, Aristotle, Socrates?
Yes.
Morons.
Audiences were delighted, and Rob Reiner was gaining a reputation as a director who had tapped into the culture of the times, a theory that was secured 2 years later when his production company, Castle Rock Entertainment, released When Harry Met Sally.
You realize, of course, that we could never be friends.
Why not?
Men and women can't be friends because the sex part always gets in the way.
Is the Billy Crystal character in that movie any part of you at all?
It's totally me.
Totally you.
It's totally me, 100% me. I mean, when I was single, I'd been married for 10 years, I was single for 10 years, making a complete and utter mess of my, dating life, trying to figure all these things out. I mean, you want to have sex, but if you do have sex, does it ruin the friendship? That became the basis of the movie.
Oh, yes! Yes! Yes!
Perhaps it doesn't sound like a topic you'd involve your mom in, but Reiner did just that. In fact, his mother, Estelle, who died in 2008, steals what should have been an unstealable scene.
I'll have what she's having.
I remember being in the theater, and the place just went nuts.
They explode, yeah, they exploded.
Did it take a lot of talking to get your mom to do that role?
No, it didn't take a lot of talking because she was just happy to spend the day with me. She had a hot dog, she watched it, and sure enough, it became the funniest line of any movie I've ever done.
Colonel Jessup, did you order the code red?
The funniest, but not his most famous. That honor goes to Jack Nicholson's Colonel Jessup in 1992's A Few Good Men.
You can't handle the truth.
The film was nominated for a Best Picture Oscar.
It gives me a tremendous amount of pleasure that that you make movies and they make it as part of the culture. They become part of the vernacular. This room over here is what we call the ego room.
At his house, there's a small room crammed with points of pride from his life in entertainment.
This is from the new movie, right?
Yes, this is from Flipped, and this was painted by my brother, Lucas.
But there are some defining moments not immortalized here. Case in point, Seinfeld. One of his production company's hits would have been canceled early on if Reiner had not personally argued its case to NBC brass.
We just had to fight like crazy to keep it on the air, which we did.
Did you know that was going to be a hit? Did you know that was going to be very successful?
you never know anything's going to be a hit. We knew it was good. You're coming out like this, but then...
Maybe it's just that simple. Whether he's directing, producing, acting, or writing, Rob Reiner says he just tries to be good. And that means working with what he knows.
Otherwise, I wouldn't know how to tell the story.
And keeping to his own golden rule.
Basically, my philosophy is give the audience the best seat in the house. I don't like a lot of, tricks and gimmicks to make it work.
And, of course, what followed was beyond disturbing. Donald Trump posted an unhinged rant on Truth Social. I call it Propaganda Social because there's nothing truthful about it. Attacking Rob Reiner and his wife after their death, blaming him for his own murder and invoking Trump derangement syndrome, which I believe Trump himself has, because he's quite deranged. Instead of offering basic human decency, this is what he wrote. Quote, "A very sad thing happened last night in Hollywood," Trump wrote. Rob Reiner, a tortured and struggling but once very talented movie director and comedy star, has passed away, together with his wife, Michele, reportedly due to the anger he caused others through his massive, unyielding, and incurable affliction with a mind-crippling disease known as Trump derangement syndrome, sometimes referred to as TDS. I mean, seriously, what is wrong with this psychopath? He went on to say he was known to have driven people crazy by his raging obsession of President Donald J. Trump, with his obvious paranoia reaching new heights as The Trump administration surpassed all goals and expectations of greatness. Please. Where? And he went on to say, and with the golden age of America upon us, perhaps like never before, what storytelling is this boy? I mean, he lives in delusions and derangement. Trump TDS is literally what MAGA and Trump himself have. May Rob and Michele rest in peace. Using a violent tragedy to attack a dead man and his grieving loved ones is not just immoral. It raises serious questions about fitness for office. This goes far beyond the 25th Amendment conversation. Article 2, Section 4 exists for conduct that betrays the moral and ethical responsibilities of the presidency, and this moment is exactly why I honestly think that they need to invoke it immediately. Friends, this case is still developing, and we will update you with verified facts as they come in, and you don't want to miss any of these updates. Please like this video, share it on your platform, and most importantly, subscribe to Exposed News Outlet with Drea right now on YouTube at Drea 2024. Follow us on Facebook as well at Exposed News Outlet with Drea, on TikTok at expose.news.outlet, and Blue Sky Social at Andrea or .bsky.social. Also, you can follow us on X at Expose News 1984. Thank you for watching the video, and stay tuned here for the latest verified reports on this story and other breaking news. Hit that bell icon, and I'll see you next time in the next update.